Yo, what up, everybody? This is your boy Food Junkie on my way to work. It's a gloomy, rainy day here in Atlanta. Not that cold, but it's just gloomy, so I'm gonna feel muggy at work because I don't know. Yeah, I always feel muggy when days like this when I'm inside the building. That's not my house. But, anyways, on my way to work, you know how we do it. We like to talk about anyone, everyone, everything, and anything. You guys will keep me company, and hopefully I will keep you guys entertained. I just finished eating a sausage biscuit, so hopefully I'm getting any crumbs around my mouth. And if y'all see anything, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah. Yesterday I made a topic about, Jason or Devolving Culture, whatever his name is, or whatever he goes by, whatever, I don't know, whatever. And I made a thing about, the fact that how, being a secure person and who they are, me, being a secure person and being secure in my blackness and things of that nature is what I made a video about yesterday. Today, well, there was a lot of videos made, since then, not responding to me, which is thank God, but just in general about the topic. His topic was not of him and the racist rants that he goes on. And there was a couple things, that was said by people that I respect, that I like, was not, that I really truly don't agree with. So I'm not going to address any individuals per se, but I'm going to address the conversation that was had and the excuses, I call them excuses, that they made for this individual, Devolving Culture or Jason. I don't care what kind of drugs you're on. I don't care about your upbringing. I don't care about your insecurities. I don't care about those things. I'm not going to make an excuse for someone to be racist or give you a pass because you may be going through something personally in your life. I don't care, because what that doesn't tell me is that it doesn't tell me that a drug cannot make you be racist. A drug cannot make you spout off racist slurs and racist inclinations. Well, it's not. Drugs is your personal choice. You decided to pick up that pipe, pick up that hypodermic needle, pick up that joint, pick up that blunt, pick up whatever it is that you chose to pick up in order for you to start the process of that. And although I love me some Timothy Blaine, and I respect Timothy Blaine's opinion, he's funny to me, he's interesting, he's educational, was not. But I think that, me personally, just my personal feelings, this is not a situation to start a situation, was not. But this is YouTube, as we all have our own personal opinions, was not. The fact that Timothy Blaine has an affliction and an affection for white men predominantly, I think is the reason why he's given this man some of the passes that he's given this man. Also, the fact that he is a recovering addict himself. Congratulations on your 18 years, by the way. 17, 18 years, by the way. For me, that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't have an affection to white men. I like black men. I like men and women, but I like men. If I want to be with a man, I like men. I like men, damn it, a man! A black man to be at that. You know what I'm saying? So I think those two things are kind of helping Mr. Blaine come to his conclusion of how he's thinking about this Jason / Devolving Culture type of individual. And those excuses or those circumstances that Timothy Blaine is experiencing is helping him lighten his heart towards what this man is doing. For me, not so much. There's no excuse whatsoever. And it's surprising because Timothy always wants us to know that, don't call the police because the police don't have anything for us as black people. But yet your attraction is towards the white people that have no type of empathy or sympathy for the black culture. I don't know. It's kind of confusing to me, but I understand. He said his first attraction was towards the guys from the Monkees. The TV show The Monkees. That's what his first attraction was. So I get it. When he was a little boy. I get it, but I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because I'm not. I I'm attracted to men, but I'm not looking at men like, oh my god, ooh, 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 ooh on TV. What's not? I can see. I can look at an attractive person, what's not, and say, oh, they're attractive. Or I can look at, you know what I'm saying, male or woman, and say, oh, they're beautiful. That's a beautiful person. Nice body. I could if I would. But not about that. It's about, people making excuses or giving passes because they say this person is on drugs and have been battling drugs for a long time. As he said, decades. And my thing is, told y'all, I sometimes can be a cold-hearted person, was not, because I don't care. I'll listen to Maturish's thing when she said, saying that doesn't give you the right to call anyone out of their name with a negative, derogatory racial slur. And my thing is, I will go even a little further than that, Miss Maturish, as well, is that I don't like that name, period, by anyone using it. Someone of the black race, someone of the white race, someone of the, Hispanic race, someone of the Asian race, or whatever case may be, the Italian, Middle Eastern, whatever. I don't like that word being used. And I think that when we, as black people, make excuses of why we can use something or say something while it's not, or someone else can't, that goes on deaf ear, because it doesn't matter. If the word is derogatory, it's derogatory. If the word is meant to be used as a slur, regardless of what it is. I don't care if people say, well, that's my brother, I use it as a friendly term. For me, no, please don't call me that word. I've had to correct a couple people or it's not. When they chose to call me that word, and please don't call me that word. That's not what I want to be called by or be acknowledged with. My name is XYZ, whatever it is. Call me by my name. If you're going to address me. And if that is part of your colloquialism and your vocabulary was not, that's fine. But when you're speaking to me, I will appreciate if you give me the respect as to not to address me as that, because I don't want to be addressed as that. And I can, prime example, one of my good friends, and I had to check myself on something while it's not, because amongst my friends, we use gay slurs, all the time. And one of my good friends who was staying with me, this is years ago, was staying with me at one point in time, was asking me, I was talking on the phone with someone else in California or whatever, and they were in my home. And I used a gay slur. And the person that was in my home got offended and teared up, kind of dramatic, whatever, and left my home. I'm like, so when they came back to my home, I was like, what's wrong with you? Why did you do that? Well, I don't like that word because, people call me that my entire life and XYZ and da-da-da-da-da. And I had to correct my behavior. I apologize because, me and the person on the phone was just talking about whatever we were talking about. I forget what it was. But the name the slur just came up. And I let them know, well, I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't referring to you, nor was I talking to you. You're in my home, but I will be more mindful in the future about your sensitivities towards that type of language. I didn't apologize for being wrong because I'm going to still use whatever I want to use. Just like I don't expect people to stop and correct who they are around me. But when addressing me, well, it's not. Be mindful of my boundaries. Be mindful of the respect that I have for myself and in terms the respect that I give you. So that's why I don't like that N word. I don't like the word being used by anyone. I never was into that argument or that conversation of, well, it's between us. No, it's not between us. If I ask you not to do something to me, well, it's not, and respect my boundaries, respect those boundaries, regardless of what you are used to doing. And if you can't respect those boundaries, well, it's not. I'd rather us not communicate because that's not something that I'm going to just be okay with. And also with that word, I can't sit here and honestly say I'm okay with someone calling me that word because they're black, but yet be so offended and so and it'd be so offensive when someone of a non-black use the same negative derogatory word. So that's why I brought up the whole thing about the slurs, the sexual slurs that I use with my friend, because I kind of got that. Well, it's not. I mean, just because I am, part of the LGBTQIA community, it's still not okay for me to use that type of language, because when I do that, it gives other people who are not permission to do the same thing, because they feel that we're so comfortable, we're so cool that we can do that amongst each other. And the reality is we can't. So I have to be mindful of using derogatory sexual slurs and colloquialisms when I am aware of people's sensitivities and boundaries. His boundaries was he don't like that word being used around him. He don't like, even from a friend who was we are still close friends now. He don't like that word being used. He don't like that term and phrase being used, because it affects him a certain way. I have to be mindful of that. I have to be responsible for what I do and how I present myself. Well, it's not. Same way is with the whole racial slurs. I know there are some people who don't mind that word being used. There are some people who don't mind that word, them being called that word. I do. I'm not one that's going to accept that type of conversation from anyone, you know what I'm saying? And I will politely and respectfully correct people, at least I think it's respectful and polite, well, it's not, correct people who choose to use that word in referring toward me to me, you know what I'm saying? I have to correct my nephew, who used that word when talking to me. I'm not one of your little friends. Watch yourself. That word is disrespectful. Well, me and my friends use it all the time. That's fine. Like I said, I'm not one of your little friends. And it's all your little friends black, because he's also mixed. He is Asian and black. And so I had to let him know, if a white person calls you that, would you be offended? You're like, yeah, I would. So why is it okay for that word to be used? If you would get offended by someone else who's not, quote unquote, your friend or black using that word. And he had to think about that for a moment. He like, dang, okay, well, you're right, Unc. I'm just saying, be mindful of what you put out there was not, because the energy you put out there is the energy that you get back in, and what you allow people, and people only treat you how you allow them to treat you. So I just say all that was not to say, that there's no excuse whatsoever as to why anyone, especially a Caucasian person, will be getting away with using that word or speaking that word in any shape or form. You know what I'm saying? The ER, the A, no, it doesn't matter. It's offensive. You know what you're doing. You're trying to offend. You're trying to incite an emotion while it's not. And the emotion that you're going to receive may not be the emotion that you are willing to accept and willing to get or handle. So just be mindful and be cool. Just like me calling someone, there's several different type of derogatory racial slurs out there, not just for black people, but for also Jewish people, also for Asian people, also for white people. Was not. It's like me using those slurs and be like, well, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. We're friends. We're cool. People around me use it all the time. No, it's not cool. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. People need to realize that was not everything that you can do, you should do. Not everything that, someone else may take lightheartedly, everyone's going to handle or respond to the same way. Someone like me, like I said, I don't like the word when anyone uses it. And if I use it or it slips out my mouth, it's pretty much in a derogatory way. It really, truly is. Like I said, I try not to use that word at all. But, if it slips out my mouth and comes out my tongue, if I'm cussing someone out or talking about someone in a bad way, that's when I use that word. And so I know I'm just one individual and not everyone thinks like me, but I still have my boundaries within myself and within how I deal with other people or not. And I expect those boundaries to be respected and handled in a way that is, cool. So we can agree to disagree, or we can, part ways. But either way, I'm still going to maintain that my boundaries are my boundaries. I'm still going to maintain that, what it is what it is for me. I can't live my life, thinking about what you're going to do and how you respond and behave, and nor should you live yours around me. But if we choose to coexist with one another, we should be able and willing to respect each other's boundaries. We should be able and willing to accept the fact that, if that's something that you rarely say out your mouth, in your conversation every day, all I ask is that when you speak with me, please be respectful and mindful of the boundaries that I have. If you want me to be respectful and mindful of the boundaries that you may have, it may not be surrounded by around that word, but it may be surrounded around something else that I know that will offend you. And like I always say, I meet people with the same energy they meet me with. So if you know that something offends me and you still continue to use it and do it, be prepared for me to find something that offends you and do the same thing with you. Disrespect begets disrespect. Respect begets respect. We all have our boundaries that we, don't want crossed. If you want people to respect your boundaries, respect theirs. So yeah, the whole drug thing and empathy thing towards Jason or Developing Culture, whatever his name is, whatever the case may be, I don't have that for him. You're a racist. You're someone that does not mean people any good, because like I said yesterday, you don't even like yourself. You don't even like the fact that you are a Jew. So how can I expect you to respect, someone of any other ethnic race? It is what it is. There's no excuse for it. There's no coming back from it. There's no rationalizing it. You are who you are. I am who I am. I don't like racist people. You are a racist person. You also may be a drug addict. You also maybe have a lot of mental issues going on within yourself. Self-deprecating, self-hating. Confused about, your place in this world. Rejection issues. All those things don't mean anything to me. Don't put your problems off on me or anyone else in society. Deal with those things as a human being, as a man, as an adult, and handle it accordingly, or get handled accordingly. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. It is what it is, y'all. Anyways, y'all, I'm on my way to work. It's your boy Food Junkie. I want to thank you guys for always having a respectful conversation on this channel. This is a safe place for everyone, like I say. Everything that I say is not meant for you to take in its totality. Take in what makes you stronger, what helps nourishes you, makes you a better person, and discard the rest. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. Take in what nourishes you, that helps you be stronger, think clearer, think differently and more positively and respectfully. As I always say, you guys, love yourself, love someone else, respect yourself, and definitely respect someone else. Until next time, this is your boy Food Junkie, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.